Before I began my experiment to see the effects of different types of caffeine, I interviewed each of my participants and gave them a log sheet to track things such as their problems with headaches, stomach aches, attentiveness problems, and sleep. First, it was time to do some shopping. In all, I had to buy 12 energy drinks, sugar, coffee, cream, black tea, and cups. When doing my pre-experiment interviews for the in-school experiment, I was surprised to learn the difference in some of my peers' intakes of caffeine. Their common intake ranged anywhere from none to around 250 milligrams. The average hours of sleep was steady around 7 hours, a healthy average. My pre-experiment interviews for the office experiment were basically the exact opposite. Both of the participants were more experienced in caffeine. They took in regular amounts of caffeine through tea, Jason more through coffee, and Jocelyn more through energy drinks. With my interviews done, I was ready to begin my experiment. Day 1. Coffee. The outcomes of day 1 at school were interesting. The group was given 3 cups of black coffee at around 300 milligrams of caffeine in total. For most of them, it really showed. They were all very caffeinated, very jittery, and a few had problems with their stomachs and heads being upset. The office experiment outcomes were different, however. Jason was very used to drinking coffee, so he functioned fine, while Jocelyn had some problems with headaches and jitteriness. Day 2. Energy drinks. The second day was a little bit less eventful at school. The group was given 2 energy drinks, totaling around 300 milligrams of caffeine. While some were unable to finish the drinks, others became more jittery and experienced some headaches. Others told a different story.
Energy drink, it made me sleepy.
At the office, the outcomes were different. Jason struggled greatly with the energy drinks. He said it caused him to lose focus, get headaches, stomach aches, and even lose sleep. Jocelyn had less problems on this day than the coffee. She was more jittery than normal, but no headaches. Day 3. Tea. The third day was really the most uneventful day in all. Both at school and in the office experiment, the tea had very little impact. Besides an upset stomach and some attentiveness problems in the office due to less caffeine than normal, the effects were very minimal. Day 4. Control. The fourth day at school was very normal. Everyone was able to focus as normal and there weren't any headaches or stomach aches. In the office, there weren't as many problems as I had expected. There were some problems with attentiveness and slight headaches, but all in all, the participants were able to cut back on caffeine pretty easily. While doing my final interviews, I made a main focus which day affected people the most. I was not very surprised by these results. Everybody besides Jason and Viviana said that coffee was the most difficult day, while they, the common coffee drinkers, said that energy drinks were the most difficult for them. One of the biggest differences throughout this experiment between the groups is how the different types of caffeine affected their sleep. On day 1, coffee, the total amount of sleep for the in-school experiment was around 4.25 hours of sleep, while the office participants got around 8. On day 2, energy drinks, school participants got around 6.25 hours of sleep, and the office workers got around 6.75. Day 3, tea, school participants got 5.5 hours of sleep, while office workers got around 7.25 hours of sleep. And on the control day, both groups averaged at around 6.75 hours of sleep. I believe the real reason why the coffee was so difficult for many of the people in the school experiment was just due to them not commonly intaking it. Most of them, when they intook caffeine, was through things like soda, energy drinks, and tea. Jocelyn was basically the same, which makes sense due to the age group. Jason, however, really struggled with the energy drinks, something he didn't commonly intake. I believe my experiment was a great way to be able to see the effects of the different types of caffeine on the body. Through my experiment, I was able to showcase the effects of caffeine, both negative and positive, as well as hopefully be able to help my peers be able to figure out what types of caffeine work for them and which don't.